Okay, so it's Saturday morning, 9:29. I have 9 miles left, and I'm gonna charge at a Supercharger in Mountain View. So I'm gonna plug in. Go. And let's see what happens. So starting 306 volt, 322. Now the amps start to go up and then down. 5 amps, then back up again. 50, 100, and creeps up a little bit. 110. Then stays there. And back down again. And back up. 7, 80, 90, 100, 110, 150. And goes back down again. Okay, 150, 200, 220, 250, 260, 300, and I have to say it's all full here except 2 cars. But I can charge at 314 amps, 355 volts, which is pretty good with almost an empty battery. So let's see if it lasts. So it's been 2 minutes now. Still at 300 amps. What happened before is that the amps will start high and then come down quite a bit. Let's see if that happens today. So I'm still at 300. And I've charged 7 miles so far. I started at 9, so I'm at 16. Charging at about 260 miles per hour, 263. There's always a lag between the amps and the miles per hour, I notice, because we're still going up here, 269, 270, when the amps and the voltage really haven't changed much. So I'm at 300 amps. I have to say, this morning the temperature is not very hot. It's about, it was 65 degrees, overcast, but then, you know, typical California weather. Now the fog is clearing up and it's probably gonna heat up quite a bit. Still at 300 amps. Now charging at about 300 miles an hour, 298. Charged 15 miles already. The amps is holding steady, 305. Starting to come down, 275, 270 after about 4 minutes, 250, 240, 250, 120. I've only charged 21 miles so far. It's now less than 200, 190. Keeps coming down. It's only been 5 minutes since I've started to charge. 170, 160. .40, and now the miles per hour started to creep down. 291, 290. .130 amps. I seem to have stabilized at 120 or so amps at 350 volts. So if I do the math, that's probably a 40 kilowatt, maybe 50 kilowatt at the most. So very far from the 120 kilowatt, charging capacity of those superchargers. And again, I started at 330 amps or so. So I've lost more than half in just five or 6 minutes. And as you can see, the charging rate, 9 miles per hour, is creeping down to 66. It was at 300 before. So now it started to creep up again. I was 120 and I started to go back up 140. And that's always what I see. Once actually I started at 330 and then came all the way down to 25 amps within a couple of minutes. It was very hot that day. And then it crept back up to about that level, 150 or so. And what's 170? 254 miles per hour. .180. Almost looks like when the amps is too high, slowly something heats up in the charging system. Then that makes the amps come down because of some temperature sensor automatic adjustment. Then it gets cooler again because the amps is lower, so that allows the temperature to go back up and the amps to go back up, and it automatically stabilizes. And I'm sure you can write some differential equations that solve this problem. I'm about 200 now, 200 amps. So still a far cry from 300 plus that it should be if I'm charging on an almost empty battery. So I'm 43 miles now, 250 miles an hour. So in the past it stabilized about 200 amps, sometimes quite a bit lower, depending on the temperature level. And that's pretty much it.